Welcome to the Cinema Gold Show. I am your host, Larry Leese. Today, we're wrapping up our series chemical reaction of Breaking Bad Rewatch with our review of Season 5. But before we do, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Audible. Audible is a subscription service that allows you to buy audiobooks that you can listen to on your phone. Audible allows you to choose from a gigantic array of audiobooks narrated by amazing narrators, which you can listen to from anywhere. Right now, I'm listening to The Dead Zone by Stephen King, narrated by Oscar-winning actor James Franco. Hey, the story's good, no matter what you think about the narrator. It's the chilling story of a high school teacher who falls into a coma and wakes up with psychic abilities. In all seriousness, audiobooks are great for when you're alone and maybe want to stop watching YouTube. If you want a free 30-day subscription and a free audiobook of your choice, check out audibletrial.com/Larry21 for a free audiobook and 30-day free trial. And now on to our next sponsor, Poddex. If you're a podcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, check out Poddex today at poddex.com and use the promo code Larry21 for 10% off your order. And now let's get into today's episode. Warning, if you haven't been keeping up and you haven't watched Season 5, there is full spoilers ahead. Wow. So that was Breaking Bad. If there were any fears that Breaking Bad would soften or pull its punches, they were completely unwarranted. Vince Gilligan and company not only capitalized on everything they had built from Season 1 through 5, but they hit their stride. All of the little sand grain pieces dropped over the first 4.5 seasons were picked up, from Hank's role in the DEA, to the ricin cigarette, to the family dissolution, to the constant lying and acting of Walter White. They drowned their kittens. They showed us no mercy. They played with us at every turn, even to the very end. They gave us no clemency. Thank goodness. TV shows love to play it safe. A character dies, he or she gets a nice montage, and all the other characters cry like the hobbits when Gandalf died. They had put as much time and effort into characters and had the fortitude to kill them off without a hokey send-off. They pulled the curtain back on just how vicious this world was, and we watched every second of it. The family had to dissolve, and it did. Hank had to die, and he did. Season 5B, or whatever you want to refer to it as, was absolutely cruel. Just as the series had always been, but this time it was direct. We as the audience had invested ourselves in their characters. There were no apologies and no montages. We left a little bit of hope that maybe a few people would get out safely. No one truly did. Even Walt Jr.'s life has been forever changed and damaged. They completed the arc of the series. They gave us Ozymandias, which was maybe the best episode of TV I've ever seen. Everything built over 5 seasons, the money, the games, the playful banter, the empire, the family falling apart, the tension between Hank and Walt and everyone else was brought back and burned to the ground in 45 minutes. And yet, it wasn't rushed or hurried. It didn't forget anything. It didn't leave us hanging. It delivered the actual ending of the series. The world of meth and drug-related violence is a carousel. And they were just the most recent hop-ons. Then they gave us a neat, tidy epilogue, Granite State and Felina, and delivered an ending that showed both the emotional devastation in the wake of Walt's decisions and the humility of Walt in the face of death. But more than anything, that epilogue left us satisfied. It wasn't a happy ending, far from it. But it was something we all needed to see. So Ozymandias wasn't the last bitter end of the series. I can't tell you how happy I was when Jesse sped off into freedom. For a bunch of producers that loved to drink our tears, at least we got our one happy moment. They closed every loop within characters. One thing I always admire in this series was how the characters never really changed to fit the story. Hank was Hank until his death. Marie was a gossiper until the end. Skylar was absolutely crushed under the weight of her husband's decisions, but was still a strong woman, despite the fact. Walt changed, but only because whatever he repressed from years ago finally surfaced. Jesse is the only one who actually changed, but it was earned, and it was because of the years of hardships and the realization that he had been manipulated all along. The writers and actors deserve a lot of credit for the specific characters they built. Without them, the series is half as interesting. They gave us bad guys and Uncle Jack and Todd, who were both evil in a way we hadn't seen before. They were without remorse and without judgment. They weren't vindictive or mean-spirited. Todd was scary in his treatment of life and death, but still semi-endearing in his desire to be accepted as a son to others. Jack was a despicable human being, but still the kind of guy you'd want on your side. They were all buddies with beers and jokes, but also murderers and neo-Nazis. Breaking Bad was richer for having them. They played us, they painted things yellow that weren't in danger, they tortured Jesse to be a ridiculous extent, just so we would think maybe he didn't get out alive. They gave us what looked like a regular guns-up shootout, and then a dead Hank and Gomi right at the beginning of Ozymandias. They almost had Jack kill Walt in the final minutes, which we would have scoffed at if they hadn't shown just how ruthless they would be this season. They spread out their stories thin enough so we could have a few more enjoyable moments. They made time for their goofy black humor with the barrel rolling incident and Badger and Skinny Pete. They let us enjoy the breakfast and Fruit Loop jokes. Breaking Bad was a testament to long-term planning in television with short-term payoffs. It was smart and eloquent, but also dry and subtextually complicated. It gave us some big fuck yeah moments. It never overstated anything or spelled anything out more than it should have. It showed us rather than told us. It built up an intense amount of pressure for years and cashed in everything in the last 8 episodes. It didn't need a voiceover, didn't need a wrap-up, didn't need to remind us of anything. It even knew when we would guess something incorrectly. It killed off nearly everyone we loved, and we came back to it for more. This final batch of Breaking Bad is one of the best run of episodes TV has ever offered. And to wrap this series up, we're going to give Breaking Bad a rating of, at least this season, a 10 out of 10. And since we're at it, for the entire series, I'm going to go... Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm going to go 7 out of 10. Let us know your thoughts on Breaking Bad in the comment section below. Would you like to see maybe I know they're all dead, but some kind of spinoff from Breaking Bad other than Better Call Saul? Let us know in the comment section below. As always, please subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification button to be notified of future videos, and give us a thumbs up if you like our content. And as always, if you want to support the show, you can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/cinemagold. Your financial support will help grow the channel, upgrade our equipment, bring in new hosts, be able to pay them, and hopefully take this show on the road. We'd really love to have this show stream live from Comic-Con or D23, New York Comic-Con, or any other movie, TV based celebration. As always, thank you so much for watching and listening. We will see you next time.